Mr. Everest, your worst nightmare is here. The Undertaker. Dap sent here because he's working. Cass is not feeling well, people. I'm not even feeling well. Look at this.
No, what's up with you, man?
I know, innit? What's going on? Monts is not feeling great. LB's the one that's feeling fresh because obviously City have got the victory, the 3 goals. And then I'm here as well. So, yeah, guys, make sure you like the video. Make sure you subscribe. Big up everyone inside. We're going to be talking on quite a few topics today. Obviously, the Champions League's back. Man United are making moves. Is Gusto now ahead of Reece James? So, yeah, guys, get your comments in. Make sure you get your super chats in. I'll read them out as well. But big up everyone inside. LB, first of all, what are you saying, my brother? Are you good?
All good, bro. Chilling, you know what I mean? Just on my little stream. Big up to everyone that come over from my stream. Big up to everyone who's locked in. Make sure you smash the like, subscribe, and that. Big up, Monts. Big up, Ty. Yeah, ready for it, man. Good show. Let's have it.
Yeah, big up, man. Now, thank you. Make sure you check out LB's channel. Make sure you subscribe as well, especially if you're a Man City fan, doing a lot of content on the City. And Dap sometimes goes on there and stuff as well. Big up, Monster. What you saying, bro? Not feeling too good, man. Do you know what? Enough people are getting ill, you know, now.
Yeah, bro. Lack of sleep. Or bro, auditions. I'm on 2 hours sleep in it, but we move. We're here.
You're here. Exactly.
I took a ginger shot and we're here.
Love that, man. Now, big up, guys. Make sure you check out Big Sixpence as well. As always, smash up the like button as well, like Maradona is saying. It really helps us go a long way. Also, reaching new audiences as well. People as well. Top of the table raid. Love that. Big up, you guys. Smashing it. I see Fatawi's doing his thing in the championship, so one to watch out for. But yeah, guys, man, make sure you do smash the like button. But we're here. Champions League's back. LB, before we obviously touch on the other subjects, because I know we've done like a bit more of a reaction on Man City yesterday for people that want to watch that. But from your perspective, nice, comfy night, job done, 1 foot in the next round. How are you feeling after that return of the Champions League?
Yeah, solid performance. Yeah, that was probably our best 11 that we've seen all season that the City fans want to see in the big games. Yeah, 2-goal cushion. So you'd like to think that's it now. You'd like to think, like you say, 1 foot in the next round, barring a disaster class, we should be there. And yeah, just a shame about the injuries, man, because we finally got all our players back. You know what I mean? I know every team goes through injuries, you know what I mean? So I'm not like pretending my club's the only one. I'm just saying, like, we only just got our injuries back, like all our players back like a week ago. And now within a space of a week, Guardiola's out.
Guardiola's out for 2-3 weeks. What happened with Grealish, by the way?
Groin injury. They're going to have to scan it and see. That could. I checked out yesterday. They reckon if it's a minor, could be out for 2 weeks. If major, it could be like 6-8 weeks, depending how bad it is. So
wow. And do you know how mad that is? Because obviously for his confidence as well, is that like he hasn't started for a while. Pep was talking about he needs to come back and be himself. And he just got a start. And apparently, because I was out, I was having to do some bits and bobs in the first half and that. I saw people on Twitter saying with your starting 11, that was like the best City 11 possible. You were cruising it, in control of the ball. They weren't having many chances.
Yeah, well, that first 20 minutes was probably one of the best 20 minutes I've seen from City in a long time. It was a shame. And like you say, Grealish, you found it tough this year, man. He's had I think 2 or 3 injuries. His house got burgled. You know, 7 people's in his home, and you know it got burgled while they were there. That's obviously not easy. And then he's finally come back. He got called out. Pep called him out last week. They say he's not been sort of like at it in training. And then he finally starts yesterday, gets given his chance. He's playing good for 20 minutes and then gets injured, man. And when he got subbed off, you could just tell, man, the guy was just
see it in his face. And do you know what's mad as well, yeah? Because Mons, don't you think people like Grealish, right? Like, even though they've not had the run of games this year, and you know, people are questioning his ability at the moment, whether he'll be at the City in the next year or two, because obviously Doku, they've got Oscar Bob coming through and stuff like that. They've got Savio coming in from Girona. Like with Grealish, he has got that unique factor in it. Like he can dribble both ways. He's a good ball carrier. He helps City retain the ball in the final third. Like when Doku is on the pitch compared to Grealish, you can see that games are more like a tennis match when Doku's on the pitch. Whereas when Grealish is on the pitch, it's more like controlled. The away games at Bernabeu, if you go to Bayern Munich, Grealish is that type of player that you want. So I feel like if he's out for a while, it could be a bit of a miss for City, because they're coming into that crunch period where they're going to have to go to Anfield away. Do you know what I mean? Games like that, if he's out for a long period.
It's more just a stars make fights thing. I don't think City miss Grealish, no disrespect. I think they'll miss him for certain games, so i.e. the Liverpool game, I feel like. But with the Liverpool game, whenever City play Liverpool, Foden loves to kind of go up. Pep loves to put Foden on that left side instead. And sometimes with Bernardo Silva on the other side. and not go for pace and power, and you'll go for that kind of setup. I feel like much as I rate Grealish, I think it's for certain games you'll need him. You'll need him as well. I'd never go as far as say City miss Grealish, but City definitely have. There's definitely a space for Grealish in on that left wing side for certain setups and games. Because
I feel like the more important the games become in the run, that's the more important Grealish gets. If that makes sense.
It's just great to have two really good profiles. You have one pacey and direct winger, and you have one who's more tricky and is better when it comes to controlling the game and keeping the ball and keeping it ticking. That's just, I think it's as simple as that.
Nah, hear it. That's cool, man. Guys, make sure you smashing the like button as well, because I do want to touch on this, because Man City have got one foot in the final, LB, right? And then across the pond, obviously in Germany, was
in
Real
the
Madrid.
Final. Jesus,
what's that?
You said the final.
Oh, sorry. Real Madrid free. Oh, sorry. Man City free to the next round.
Bro, just skipping the quarterfinals, semi-finals.
I might be speaking it into existence, but you got across the pond in Germany. You had Real Madrid taking on Leipzig, and they got the job done. Now, there was no Jude Bellingham. You know, Brahim Diaz came in, scored a great goal. But this is where I put in the title: a Man City or Madrid Champions League favourites. Because I want to ask you something, LB. Right? You knocked out Real Madrid last year, yeah. Do you think Real Madrid are closer to you this season than what they were last season with the signing of Bellingham? Now, do you think it's actually made it more? It's like leveled up a bit more. Because when I'm looking at favourites in the Champions League, are you putting yourselves as clear favourites, or are some people going to say Madrid are?
I think City are favourites for the Champions League. I think Madrid are second favourites in my opinion. Are they closer to us than last year? I don't know. I mean, I've watched them a couple of times. Sometimes they look okay. Sometimes they look good. Sometimes they look ass. I just think the lack of a striker will cost them in the Champions League this year. I think I said this last night. I think when they get Mbappe, different. They probably go favourites, but without a striker in the Champions League, I just think that it's probably gonna mean that we're favourites for it. So yeah, and listen, we battered them 2 years in a row. Even the year they knocked us out, we were by far the better team across the two. We just crumbled at the end, man. So yeah, I think have they closed the gap? I don't know. I genuinely don't know what the answer to that is, because the only way you can really tell that is by the two going head to head. So I've said, man, I want to play Real Madrid in the final. You know, Liverpool done it a couple of times, got beat. I want to do it, man. I want to play him in the final.
Oh, you do? That's mad. Yeah. That's the saying, which I agree with him. He said that if you were to play Real Madrid, he'd rather play them over two legs, because over two legs, I do think you'd beat them as well. But in a one-off final, like Madrid or Madrid, do you know what I mean? Like,
I hear it 100%. But I want to face it, bro.
But as a Liverpool, you see, when it comes to Madrid in the final, I feel like the heritage is just so important of them, because, my opinion, when we played them in 17-18,
was that the year you dominated them more and Vinicius scored?
No, that was 21-22.
Oh,
but in 17-18, even up until before Salah got injured, we was fucking them up. Ronaldo
that game, yeah.
When the man were getting moved to, and then as soon as Salah come off, obviously our squad wasn't what it became at that point. So we still had frailties. Salah was still kind of like even though Mane and Firmino were there, it weren't the same.
It weren't.
When Salah got injured, the game was done. As simple as that. It weren't enough. In the 2021-22 season, we were like what happened when City faced them and they got pipped last minute. Bro, we battered Madrid in that final. Keep a man of the match performance.
Yeah, Courtois done a madness.
Courtois does a madness. And that's why I call it heritage, though. That's why I call it heritage. You see what I'm saying? Like, somehow them man found a way in 2 games where I generally feel like if things that were out of our hands didn't happen, i.e. the Salah injury, you know, I just feel like we could have been sitting here talking about 2 Champions Leagues, maybe even 3. But it is what it is, man. It's this heritage and how it works in the UCL, man.
Yeah, it's true, 100%. I'm just gonna sort it out for Chaps to come in a second. Once, bear with me, Chaps. What do you think on the Real Madrid situation in terms of last night? People saying they're lucky. I think they just know how to get the job done. That's what I think of Real Madrid. They always know how to get the job done, and they always will. And that's why I think if Man City were to play them over 2 legs, they would beat them in a final. That's why I think once is something that you probably don't want to face, even though it was a spectacle at Wembley. At Wembley, it could be a banging final, wouldn't it?
But then again, now that Man City have got over the line, it might be a different type of game. I look at like Real Madrid today yesterday anyway, and they have a lot of injuries at the moment. I think Leipzig smoked them up yesterday, and Real Madrid still won 1-0. It's exactly what we're talking about. Heritage. It's literally they got Real Madrid. That's what happened to Leipzig. They played well, kicked ball, created chances. Didn't play a perfect game, but nullified most of Real Madrid for most of the game.
Yeah, facts.
Injuries, no striker. What did Diaz do? Score probably goal of the group stage. So goal of the knockout stage already. Real Madrid. They got Real Madrid. It is what it is.
Yeah, it's true. Big up chaps in the building. What are you saying, bro?
Good afternoon.
Good afternoon. I love it. Doing a little bike ride and that. We're just touching on the Champions League and saying like Madrid, City, who are favourites, but also, like, if you were looking at it from the Man City angle, would you rather play Real Madrid in a final, or would you rather play them over 2 legs? Because if you look at the Champions League this year, right, I'm not discrediting the Champions League, but it's like them two are the levels above, and then the rest, like the Bayern Munich, Barcelona, they're there and they can cause an upset on their day, but the top two are clear for me. I think it's like it's a formality, really.
I mean, with the Champions League, with Real Madrid, you don't want to play Real Madrid in the final. You don't want to do that. Like this Real, Real Madrid in the final is, you know what it's like with them. That's their tournament. They know what to do. Obviously, Don Carlo, I am the record man. So I would over 2 legs. City would beat them over 2 legs, because City. If you look at what City done, I was talking to Mons about this yesterday. If you look at what City done last season, they just went away, drew, and then come to use their home form and beat everyone. So it's a game plan that they've implemented, and it's been successful. So there's no reason why they can't implement that again and do the same things again. But in a final, you know what I mean? You got players. Real Madrid got players that will just show up. Vinicius Jr. might have a moment. Rodrigo have a moment. You know what I mean? Like, so I would, to be honest with you, I wouldn't like to play Real Madrid in a final. I'd rather City. I prefer them over 2 legs, to be honest.
Prefer them over 2 legs. Guys, make sure you're running up the likes as well. Do massively appreciate it. Make sure you smash the likes. Subscribe to LB. Subscribe to Big Six Bants down below. 350 of you in the building. LB 1998 says everyone is sleeping on Inter. They are cooking. Do you know what? Inter Milan, Arsenal.
There's levels.
Arsenal, do we need to mention them? Like Arsenal, Inter Milan. Do we need to
mention Arsenal? We need to mention Arsenal, but we don't need to mention Inter Milan without mentioning.
Okay, no, wait. You tell me why we don't need to mention Inter Milan. They got to the final last year. They've got better this year. Once they're a good team, you know. They're dangerous. I think they knock out Atletico.
Yeah, they're a good team, but Arsenal are a good team. Arsenal are a better team than Inter Milan. So for me, I like, and also Bayern Munich as well. Like, listen, people looking at Bayern Munich's league form. Yes, they lost 3-0 on the weekend. People act like they correlate league form and Champions League. You look at Liverpool when they've had poor league runs and gone, oh yeah, but when Liverpool in the Champions League is a different story. I look at Bayern Munich the same way. Like, you're not going to look at Bayern Munich and go, oh, they're doing bad in the league, or so, you know, they're going to do bad in Champions League. Bayern Munich is still, for me, right there with Arsenal in terms of the top 4 teams that you don't want to get in the Champions League right now.
So are you confidently saying that if Arsenal drew Inter Milan in the Champions League quarterfinal, you're very confident that Arsenal going to beat Inter Milan?
Arsenal get the job done. They'll get the job done. Over 2 legs. Maybe a one-off final.
Based off of what? Man. Like,
bro, Arsenal will get the job done.
I think you're underestimating Inter. I feel like you're disrespecting them a bit, you know.
Underestimating Inter Milan.
The current form now, the Serie A for me isn't on the level of.
But judge Inter Milan for Inter Milan. Like, they pushed City all the way last year in the final. They're probably even better this year.
Over 2 legs, Arsenal are getting the job done. At the Emirates, they're getting popped, bro.
No, yeah, but I want to know why. Like, me and LB, we want to know why. And we want to know why you think that,
bro. Because I'm looking at Arsenal for what I've seen of Arsenal, like, so far, and especially with the little bit more experience they have and their home form being as devastating as they can be. I'm looking at Inter, and I just feel like Inter. I look at Inter's run. Someone name me Inter's run of the Champions League last year, because people love to say Inter got to the final. Villarreal got to the final the year before that. I'm not like the semi-final. Sorry, like, easy runs can happen, bro. Easy ones.
Okay, yeah, I see what LB and chat. I see what LB and chat think on that.
And I'm not saying Inter Milan are dead. People are saying, "Oh, you never did this, you never did that." Relax your bum cheeks. Relax yourselves. I back Arsenal as the fourth best team in this competition. I still put Bayern just above them. For me, I put Bayern just
There's
above
something
them.
about Bayern, that I just
Like, bro,
not
in the Champions League, bro. People talking about Lazio, and Lazio are 8th in Serie A, and not having a good.
Yeah. Bayern should be beating them.
Yeah, they're not having a good campaign. But Lazio have done quite well in the group stages. They've done quite well in terms of the Champions League form. It's actually quite good. So I'm looking at them and thinking, well, their Champions League form is going to be better than their Serie A form. Why do people not apply the same logic to Bayern Munich? You think Bayern Munich aren't thinking, oh, you know what? We're not doing great in the league, but fuck it, like we're in the Champions League. Like we're not going to give that. Clearly, going to give that a go, aren't we? What? Come on, man.
No, I don't think you can say over two legs that Arsenal will beat in the Milan. At this present moment in time, yeah, I'm looking at it like this. Yeah, obviously they've got Porto first. Now, when I had that conversation, Porto conceded 12 goals in the season in the league, and they I think I can't remember what the stats, but Porto can defend and so can Inter. So at the end of the day, like these teams that can defend, they are very organized teams. Yeah, they know how to win games, and especially over two legs as well. So with like players, and you've got players like Martinez who's on fire, yeah, scoring goals left, right, and center. If you can defend, yeah, you can't turn around and say this team over two legs will beat this team. If Inter went toe to toe with with Arsenal, then yeah, you could say that. But Inter are not going to do that. Inter are going to play their game, and their game might necessarily be, you know what, we'll get a 1-0 at the San Siro, and we'll go and defend, and we'll get a 0-0 at the Emirates, or a 1-1. And these things do happen because that's how it goes. But I don't think. The only thing you can turn around and say is right now is that Man City are probably the firm favourites, and Real Madrid are probably second. And Arsenal and Bayern Munich, obviously Tuchel.
I think they're all on that same.
He's won the Champions League. They're all in the same pool. They're all in the same pool.
But Traps, you've just said, the way Serie A teams defend and they're organised. Arsenal have the best defensive record in the Premier League.
Yeah, but what I'm trying to say to you is that you can't. Yeah, but I'm not discounting it, but I'm just saying you can't then turn around and say because what Arsenal are doing in this league and that league and whatever, that you can't say that Inter Milan Arsenal will beat them comfortably, because Inter Milan got themselves to a final. They've been to many finals as well that in Italy. So they're not scrubs at the end of the day. So you can't just turn around and say, oh yeah, Arsenal will deal with them. Arsenal, it's not.
Fair enough. Listen. You lot can. We can agree to disagree. Obviously,
it's interesting debate. I'd love them to get drawn against each other. That I'll actually will.
Yeah, because it will be an interesting game.
Very good matchup.
I think, like, bro, like you man know. The last thing I want to be doing is complimenting Arsenal. You man know what I'm like towards Arsenal, but I'm just calling a spade, innit? Like, everyone loves to call the Premier League the best league in the land. And the second the team's doing well in another league, you want to discount Arsenal. And I understand the heritage aspect of the Champions League. I'm very strong on heritage, but it's the round of 16, not the semi-final. Round of 16.
Yeah.
No, but you just said you're big on heritage. Arsenal have not got out the last 16 since 2010.
Yeah, I hear it. No, it's true. Yeah, but remember, but context, they spent 7 years.
But how long? How many years? Yes, how many years have they been in it?
No, it don't matter. You're talking about heritage. The facts are the facts. The heritage is this.
Seven of those years they spent out of the Champions League. By the way,
yeah, but that don't help your argument.
No, but I'm saying that in terms of quality, bro, City ain't got no heritage, and you guys went and won the treble. I'm sitting here trying to understand.
Well, I'm not the one to talk about heritage. You just said you're the one to talk about heritage.
No, I said I'm big on heritage, but I feel like in this case, in the round of 16, I don't really see it applying too much. I look at Inter Milan's run, and everyone ignores the context of Inter Milan's run to the Champions League final last year. They ignore it. and the fact that they gave Man City a game, they magnify that.
I
Inter
mean,
Milan are a very good side. I just hold Arsenal to a slightly higher standard than them, and it's as simple as that. You can say, look, everyone can be butthurt and all that. It's like, bro, Arsenal have serious quality, and they can definitely apply that to the Champions League and the group stages. I never said Arsenal are going to go and win the damn thing. That's they're going to win the damn thing. I said, for me, I'd love to see them draw Inter Milan. I don't even know if they're on the same time.
Yeah, you know what I do now, because I think it'll be such a good game.
Yeah, it'll be a very good game.
I just think based off Arsenal's history and what Arsenal and Arsenal in Europe, bearing in mind they've gone into Europe with World Cup winners and all kinds of stuff, and they've been shit in Europe for my whole life. I'm saying to you, these conversations about them and Inter need to happen. They need to get past Porto first. Because I think people
Inter need to get past Atletico as well.
Looking at Porto like Porto's a foregone conclusion. I don't think it is, and I don't think it is, man.
But what do you think, chaps, on Inter Atletico? Because the same way we're talking about Porto Arsenal should be winning that more than Inter Atletico. For me, LB and my traps, I think Inter Atletico is the best tie of this group, of this knockout round. I think because
even Atletico are up there. I'll say as well. Like with what they've been doing.
Yeah, like you got Bayern, Arsenal, Inter Atletico in that 4. I put that in a 4. Would you agree, Mons?
But why aren't Arsenal, bro, man?
That's what I said. Sorry, you got Arsenal, Inter. What did I say? Arsenal, Inter, Bayern, Atletico, and bloody hell, there's PSG. That's like a little cluster there, isn't it? That's a cluster.
Yeah, it's a good. Like, listen, I still think the overall Champions League quality is a bit lower this season. I can understand that, but that means all the more to go win it, bro. All the more to go. It's like, go. Even the managers aren't saying, bro, there's no Liverpool and that. Go get yourself a champion.
Yeah, see, if I'm LB, I'm rubbing my hands.
I'm rubbing my hands.
I want to do 2 times. Yeah,
I'm thinking. Hold on a minute. I
want to come on. Oh, he wants to come on here doing that AJ.
If there's an upset and City get knocked out, if there's an upset and Madrid get knocked out,
teams are sniffing,
bro. You're sniffing around thinking, hold on a minute. You get it? You know what I'm saying? Look how many upsets there were a couple of years back. Villarreal found themselves in the
Benfica. I remember,
bro. You're sniffing around, bro. The Champions League is up for grabs whether you like it or not. You know what I'm saying? Man can say we're trolling. Roms can say in the chat, oh yeah, I'm trolling because I said Arsenal have a chance, bro. Rom just said Arsenal semi-final max. Semi-final is still a good feat.
Yeah, that's still
a good feat to go and get. You know what I'm saying? Arsenal have a lot of quality this season. They have the best defensive record in the Champions League. They blitzed the group. They blitzed the group stages. Blitzed it. No one's talking about heritage there. They blitzed the group stage. You know what I'm saying?
Who's in their group? Who's in their group though?
Yeah, come on, bro. Pretty easy group,
you look at United. Hold on. Where was United's heritage?
What you on about? Like, it's not.
Listen,
no, Mons, you're talking about heritage, right? But I'm saying to you, look at their group. Look at the group that they was in. Yeah, regardless of what, and they still wouldn't have lost the lens. They still lost the lens. Let's not forget that.
That was a Europa League group, bro.
Don't tell me they blitzed the group. They lost the lens, bro. You can't lose the lens.
They comfortably qualified.
Of course, they comfortably went through.
They got a Europa League group. Let's be real.
Yeah, great, and that's fine. Your group was shit. Your what's it?
I'm not speaking about our group though.
Bro, all your groups are shit. Bottom line is, at the end of the day, Arsenal are top 4 or 5 teams in that Champions League, and man can't argue with that. That's a fact. That's factual that Arsenal are top 5 teams in the Champs right now. Can't argue with that on form this season. And listen, heritage does play a part. I'm not discounting heritage completely. I'm just saying there are teams without heritage can go on runs in the Champions League. And LB, you of all people should understand that. You should definitely understand that. You know what I'm saying? And there's also upsets. It's crazy. Like, listen, I'm not saying you man are chatting shit.
Yeah, but the thing you're talking about, when you see me talking about Man City, yeah, the thing is with Man City is, yeah, obviously I was on the bandwagon of win the UCL. But the truth is, they was getting to the semi-finals, yeah, at the very least, and they was getting to finals. Yeah, so it wasn't if, it was when. Like, so it was enjoyable. Arsenal are not doing that. Arsenal not done that. If they get to a semi-final this season, yeah, you could start talking about they're thinking, but they can't.
And I believe they get to it. I believe Arsenal can get to a semi-final this season. Remember, it's just a couple.
I don't think that. So what if they end up drawing? I don't know. Can they draw Man City?
No, but that could happen for anyone. You know what? This is why I hear both sides of the argument, chats, because if they draw a Real Madrid in the next round, then cool. If they get knocked out in the quarters, then it's cool. It's Real Madrid. You're going to say, look, they lost to the better team. But if they get a draw where it is a Bayern, an Inter Milan, a PSG, I understand where Mons is saying in terms of they could reach a semi-final. And here's why I'm going to agree with Mons on that side of it. Because I came on here, the same show on Never a Foul, yeah? And I said at the start of the season, I'll see what LB thinks as well. I said, if you are going to a team away from home, yeah, and you're playing them at the Emirates, I said, there's no way if I was an Arsenal fan, I'm going to sit here and say, I think loads of teams can beat us at the Emirates. Man City can beat them at the Emirates. Real Madrid can beat them at the Emirates. Bayern, I think Arsenal beat. PSG, I think Arsenal beat. Who else? Inter Milan, I do think Arsenal can beat them at home. So when I think about two legs and what Arsenal can do at home, their fans would have confidence that other than City and Real Madrid, we can beat anyone at home, which is why on their day, they could potentially reach a semi-final. That was my case I put forward for them reaching a semi at the start of the season. So, and that's on record. So that's what I went with.
Time, can I just add on? Let me tell you Inter Milan's run.
I'll let you come in LB after as well.
Let me tell you Inter Milan's run to the Champions League final.
Yeah?
These man in the round of 16, who did they get? Who did they first have? They had Porto, then they had Benfica, then they had the Milan derby. Fuck off. Just fuck off. Just fuck off. Just fuck off. Like,
what are you saying, LB? What are you saying, LB, on this?
You think if Arsenal had that run, you think Arsenal won't get into the final if Arsenal had that run this season? Fuck off.
No. The question is, can Arsenal get to the final? Yeah. Could they get to the semi-final? Yeah. But to say they'd be favourites above the likes of Atletico, the likes of Inter Milan.
No, I forgot about Atletico, to be fair and Bayern. That's why I said top 5. I said they're in the 5.
Yeah, and I don't disagree. I think the bottom of that top 5, maybe 6. But to say they'd be favourites against Inter Milan when Inter Milan just got to a final, even though you're discrediting it because they played, you know, that people are telling me that they've improved this year, the top of the league, you know, they've gone through the group easy. Like, to say they'd be favourites above Inter Milan, man, or even like Atletico, you know, these sort of teams, PSG, to say they'd be favourites above them, nah, I just don't agree with that. PSG. You think they'd be favourites above PSG?
Yeah, but once see that's what I'm saying.
You know what? PSG is that interesting one though, LB. Like they've had a better team than what they've had this season, and they've always fell short. Now they've gone for the Brandon Bacolas, they've gone for the Colin Mawani.
But again, I'm not saying that Arsenal
get it over the line.
I'm not saying Arsenal can't beat PSG, but to say that Arsenal would be favourites above PSG, I just don't agree that they'd be favourites above PSG.
I think that's a good argument, you know.
So we've got Real Madrid, obviously. We've got Real Madrid, Man City, Bayern Munich, Atletico, and Arsenal in it. Those are the top 5 for me. You can say we've got Arsenal.
Okay. I don't think it's like that. I don't think it's like that.
I think Arsenal aren't in the top 6 in the Champions League this year.
I don't think it's like that. I think, yeah, if you're based on, obviously, look, the last 2 winners, yeah, are Man City and Real Madrid. So them two, they're up there, yeah, because they're the last 2 winners, yeah. Then you've got, obviously, Inter, yeah, which are last year's finalists. You've got the likes of Bayern Munich, PSG, Arsenal. They're all in the same pool, mate, after that. So it depends on who draws who, whatever. I mean, things like you said, you can get easy draw or whatever. But in reality, if it was Man City to get the hardest draw or Real Madrid to get the hardest draw, you'd probably back them all the way. You're not going to back Arsenal to get the hardest draw and go to the final and win. You're not going to back PSG to get the hardest draw run and get to the final. You're not going to back Inter to get the hardest run and go to the final. But them 2 teams, Man City and Real Madrid, are the teams that you would back to get the hardest run and get to the final and probably win it. So that's how I see it.
Hold on, let me get this straight. I've got to say, listen, yeah, like
smash the likes, people. By the way, carry on.
I've watched bits and pieces of Inter Milan this season. I'm not saying they haven't looked good, but they also finished second in their group and drew 3 games in their group stage. By the way, with Real Sociedad, Benfica, Salzburg in their group. I just feel like we're applying some context to.
I just think that's irrelevant.
We're applying context to Inter Milan, but we're not applying context to Arsenal.
I think that's irrelevant what you do in your group stage, to be honest.
Well, look. Listen, look. It's very simple, like, because we're like this is all opinions, all he said, she said, or whatever. Yeah, but the truth is, Inter
making a good debate though.
Round of 16, yeah. Arsenal drew Porto round of 16, so they both drew the same team in the round of 16. So let's just watch and see what happens. It's all opinions. You might be right, you might be wrong.
The best part about it,
no, of course.
You know what the best part about it is, other than Man City and Real Madrid, the teams that are likely to go through, whether it's a Bayern, Inter, or Atletico, Arsenal should be going through. There's going to be some matchmaking in the next round where some of these teams are going to have to play each other. So we're talking, forget the top 2, this pool of 5 that we're talking about, they're going to have to clash each other. There's going to be great matchups. So either way, we are going to see it. But I think that's the best part about the Champions League. Look, we've done 30 minutes talking on whether them 2 are City, them 2 are favourites. But when we talk about the pool below, look, everyone's not agreeing or disagreeing. There's always something to it because PSG might fall short. You know, you've got Arsenal. Can they go far? And we're saying about their home form. Then you've got Inter Milan that people are like underrating, to be honest. Then you've got Bayern that have got the European, the machine, the nous of getting there, but actually Tuchel's flopping. There's so many different means of what's going on, man. Big up Sean and Cass joining us in the building. Guys, make sure you're running up the likes in the video. Over 500 of you watching. So big up everyone. Yeah, Z, even Barca, I forgot about them, but forget them. Forget them this year. They're done. Yeah, they are done. But Sean, welcome. Cass, welcome. We're just discussing about basically the Champions League. What?
Sorry, no. I was saying it's impossible. Their Champions League is different.
They've got Napoli might even knock them out. We're basically talking, guys, on like who's the best of the second bunch, basically, because obviously you got the PSG, you got the Real Madrid and Man City, but then you got the pool of Bayern, Arsenal, Inter Milan, Atletico, and there was one more. I think PSG.
I would two names. That's easy. That's Atletico and Arsenal, isn't it?
Oh, so
I don't mind Inter. I think Inter are a dangerous.
Yeah, I think, bro.
I forgot about Inter Milan as well.
You are so disrespected.
But yeah, you can't. I forgot about Inter Milan as well. It's you got to think about teams that are in the league, but when it comes to Champions League, it's just a different ball game. Bayern Munich are arse and cheeks. Let's get one thing straight. Tuchel or no Tuchel, they're shit. Like I think Inter Milan, Atletico, Arsenal. I don't know. Well, let me guess. Someone made a case for Arsenal, and
who do you think?
Well, I think Traps. I would say Traps is.
It wasn't. You know, it wasn't. No? Montego Bay.
Oh, what?
Say that one. You know.
Yeah, I think Arsenal got a good chance, but do I think they're going to do it? Probably not. But they.
No, I didn't say they're going to win it, bro. They were just saying that.
We're the best of the
top in the 4 teams that I think are there. I think. For me, I think Arsenal get the job done against Inter Milan. If they were to draw Inter Milan, I think they get the job done in it. Personally.
I don't know.
But I feel like in European football, they haven't got that pedigree in European football, right?
You're right there.
No, 100%. But it's not always, especially in the round of 16, the European pedigree doesn't always fully apply. Like the heritage doesn't 100% take over from the round of 16. I'm not saying it starts from the semis, exactly starts from a certain place, but I feel like quality still has a part to play as well as heritage. And I feel like in the round of 16, quality still has a big part to play. And I'm not saying Inter Milan don't have quality, bro. I'm not saying that. But I'm looking at Arsenal, and you lot, everyone's talking about Arsenal or Inter. They got to the final. Their run was shit last year. People ignore that. They had a good one-off game against Man City, still lost. Again, didn't Inter Milan have more heritage than Manchester City, by the way? Why is it not everyone talking about that?
Bro, I swear you brought the heritage thing up into this conversation, bro. You brought it up, and now we've disproved it.
I brought it up.
But I'm just saying, bro. Like we can't.
So she said, "Sean."
Say that again.
Ain't Dortmund then that's still in this competition?
Dortmund are cheeks, man.
Yeah, but them kind of ties, Cash, yeah, they're the ones that they're the ones of the banana skin ones, bro. Where you think, like this should be a piece of piss, and the next thing you know, you're out.
But one thing with Arsenal, like they've got a solid defense, you know. They've got a very solid defense.
Don't you just feel like if you're gonna dismiss like the idea of the pedigree and the heritage because Manchester City didn't have it. No, hang on. Okay, so let me say if because Manchester City didn't have it, but now they have won it. But I think Manchester City are obviously a different conversation because of all the success they have in very recent times in every other competition. Arsenal haven't done anything anywhere really in the last 4 or 5 years, right? So for me, I just feel like they're fighting on too many fronts. They haven't had too many successes on every front recently. And for those reasons, even if they've got a decent squad to be able to compete with Inter Milan or any of the other kind of that sort of second tier group, I still think that eventually they're gonna fall down because they just haven't got enough of the variables that you need, all the little nuances. They haven't got enough of those boxes ticked to be able to compete.
Inter Milan have won bare cups as well, you know, in the last few years. You know, they've won a few. How many cups have they won? 3 or 4?
Yeah,
brother. You man are just going on like I said. Arsenal going to win the damn thing, bro. I think that's what you man are hearing.
I'm not hearing that. I'm hearing what you're saying.
Quarterfinals get found out.
Wrong. I'm not saying Arsenal can't go far, but to say they're favourites over Inter Milan and teams like that, I just think he's wrong.
Yeah, I think that's wrong as well. There's no one. There's no favourite.
Can they beat Inter Milan? Yes, 100% they can beat Inter Milan. Can they get to a semi-final? Yeah. Could they go and win the thing? Maybe. Who knows? But to say they'd be favourites against Inter Milan, I just think that.
Yeah, I would.
You know what, LB? Actually, I'm gonna read out the super chat. But I've got a question for you. As reigning champions, yeah. If you take out Real Madrid, out of all that bunch, who would you not want to face in the final? I'm just intrigued from a City point of view.
In the final.
Yeah, so you're not playing Real Madrid in the final, but you've got one of these 5 teams from this bunch we've been talking about for like the last 20 minutes.
Probably Atletico, isn't it?
Yeah, maybe.
Yeah, Atletico, maybe. Yeah,
maybe Atletico. They're difficult to play.
And now they can score a few more goals. Now they're going to be more expansive. They're not just sit back the whole game, innit?
And just get it right as well. I wouldn't really want to play Arsenal if we're being completely honest.
Okay, fair, yeah.
That's what I'm saying. I don't don't get it twisted. I'm not saying like I think Arsenal are whack. I just think to say that they're favourites against them teams is wrong. I won't want to play Arsenal. I want to play Atletico.
Yeah. The high pitch, the tone got higher.
And that's what I mean. I'm saying like as much as teams don't want to go San Siro, innit? Like teams aren't trying to go Emirates, bro. I'm not gonna lie. I'm talking over 2 legs, innit? Like. Remember, the Champions League, anything can happen. I still don't think, again, I reiterate, I don't think Arsenal are winning the competition. I just think in the proper 4, I do really like what I've seen from Atletico Madrid. I've watched a lot of them this season, and I think they're actually kicking ball, and it's actually a joke what they're doing. Inter Milan are doing well. Obviously, you've got other teams who aren't in the greatest of form, but I'm looking at Arsenal and going, well, if I'm thinking what teams do I really see beating Arsenal over 2 legs right now, I'd say Manchester City, Real Madrid, maybe Atletico and a Bayern, but I don't see Inter Milan there. That's my.
That's fair enough. That's fair enough.
That's just my thing on Inter
Milan. It's been a very interesting little subject there, though. People, let us know. Obviously, after the show as well, if you want to like the video, make sure you get your comments in and let us know who you think of the best of the second tier is. Big up Amar. With a super chat, he says Arsenal are bottlers. It's in their DNA. Well, we'll find out obviously later on this season because they should be beating Porto, and if they don't beat Porto, then they're definitely bottling it already. So, guys, yeah, make sure you keep smashing up that like button. Make sure you subscribe if you're new and check out everyone's content down below. Chaps, I'm gonna come to you now because Man United seem to be making moves, the sort of moves and grooves that the fans of Man United have been wanting for a while. Ineos are coming in. Sir Jim Ratcliffe's been approved, and now Dan Ashworth seems to be the number 1 guy that they're looking to get. So, yeah, man, what are you saying about this news that's currently going around the world right now?
You know what I'm saying? I think it's good. Like I think it's good. I told people to get off this bandwagon of thinking that we didn't get Qataris, whatnot. As long as these men come in and do what they said they was going to do, and I said I'll have a lot more to say at the end of January. Obviously, it's now February, it's the middle of February now, but I haven't been on it for a while. But I think it's good. I think they're trying to build it. They're trying to put together a dream team to go and win, to go and build an infrastructure and go and win. Go and obviously get us back to winning ways. Like this is what I wanted to see. Ineos have like rather than they've gone and they've thrown money at the situation and we've seen the same old tricks. We're seeing them actually trying to employ people that are actually gonna uplift the club and put the club back to where it is. So I'm here for it, man. I think Jim Ratcliffe at the minute. Obviously, I get called Trapscliffe now because obviously I've endorsed the team because I have based on.
Remember I changed my name to Sir Cascliffe months ago. And I got
that's what they call me. That's what they call me. There's one guy that comes in and calls me Trapscliffe every day, bro.
Yeah, Trapscliffe.
Because I just told the truth. It's like I don't want to. Like I said, we could have sat there and we could have seen flipping them come through and started buying a load of players, give the manager a bag of money to go and do. And everyone would have been like, yeah. And then when it's all shit again, they're like, get the Glazers out, whatever. The Glazers have relinquished their responsibility and said, listen, do you know what? You paid for this. This is your stuff. Go and do what you're doing. And I'm here for it, man, because it might not be. We're not going for the quick fix right now. Like, this is a long game, and yeah, I've liked what I've seen so far. There's no decisions being made, even on the manager. Like I've been screaming to get this manager out for God knows how long now. But I just genuinely, if I look at it from a perspective of an adult, it would be wise for you to get your sort of sporting directors in. Obviously, your CEO come in, and then they have a conversation about what they're going to do going forward. So it would be wise. But yeah, man, like I said, I like what I've seen. And yeah,
fair. Before I'm going to bring in Sean after you, Cass, because I want to see what he thinks in it. But Cass, you've wanted you've always said Dan Ashworth, Paul Mitchell. As long as one of them at least comes in, you believe that this club is moving in the right direction. And if I ask you right now, if Man United come knocking the door, right, and you're working at Newcastle, I don't see Dan Ashworth turning down an opportunity to work at, no matter what people say, one of the biggest football teams in the world, if not the second biggest. I think he comes. Do you think United get there, man?
Our knock is a different type of knock. What can we say?
Mm.
Yeah,
it is a different type of knock. No, it's the truth, bro. The cinnamon tea thing, it's a different type of knock.
Can someone go check up on Specs and Kendall, please? Like,
Hey, listen, I told them Foot Locker employees, man, they're in the mud.
Foot Locker.
Foot Locker employees is crazy.
You're gonna ask them for trainers. You're gonna ask them for trainers. They're gonna be like, yeah, just check online, man. It should be online.
Do you know why that's crazy? Because of your third kit. That's
yeah. Yeah, the stripy thing.
I think, what do you mean? I think it's green, bro.
Yeah, but still, the template. I get
the barcoded off, man. They're bunch of barcodes up there, man.
Chaps, walking zebra crossing setting, bro. You're walking zebra crossing over there as well. Come on, man.
Brother, what are you talking about? Have you seen your third kit?
Better than yours. It's better than yours.
But you might running around the pitch looking like geckos and that. What are you talking about?
just know the Foot Locker employee thing. Right message from Messenger in it because of your third kit. That's all I'm saying.
No, I hear it. But Cass, what are you saying? Dan Ashworth, you're confident we get him? Yeah.
I'm thinking it'd be totally embarrassing that if you're gonna go for a man and make it so known that it's your target and you don't go grab him, then I think that's just embarrassing, isn't it? Especially if you've got Omar Barada and he's also approved that he wants Dan Ashworth with him because they've got maybe some sort of relationship, and I think it would be embarrassing. Again, it's like it's all on paper. It's great, isn't it? It's super great, but it's just like what I still got PTSD about what's going to really happen this summer. Am I going to see Maguire and Scott McTominay get the hell out of this club?
I'm
not really going to see that. Like,
I'm seeing that. Let's on McTominay, bro.
No. Stop. This revisionism is crazy. It's like Ty Marcel. It's Ty Marcel sentence all over again. I don't care if he scored a header a couple times and that shit. So, anyways, the whole point is, it's like it's all great on paper and that, but I need to see stuff to believe it. I'm going to be so honest. Like, I'm optimistic. Of course, I'm optimistic. I'm not going to say I'm going to sit there and say I don't get excited by the news, but I've got to see more than that. Like,
yeah, everything. This is the thing, right? Everything that Ineos do right now is gonna look pretty. This is why I'm staying composed as well, like Cass said, because obviously you've got Omar Barada coming in. You were gonna get a CEO in, so that was whoever it was. They were gonna get a CEO. We're gonna need us SD. So whether it's Dan Ashworth or Paul Mitchell, whoever it is, we were gonna get an SD. No matter what, it's gonna sound pretty because Man United are employing people to come in and run the football inside of the business. What they do when they're in the job is a different ball game. That's what it is.
You know what it is? It's just mental, yeah. That it's taken 10 years for these thickhead glazers, yeah, to clock this. Like, look at my man, like Liverpool. Look at Tottenham now. Like, Tottenham are looking better than us. Man City been doing it. You know, Chelsea, whatever they had before with Roman, whether it was good or bad, they still won stuff. It's just, I don't know, man. It's just, I can't be shameless about it yet.
You gotta wait. It's a wait and see thing. What do you think, Sean? Now you're looking at it, Sean, and I think it's interesting from your perspective, right? Because you've got the manager that you now want. Not saying you wanted him at the start, but you've got a manager all the fans are happy with. Your board are starting to back the manager. You're starting to sort out a bit of upstairs. I think you've got that Paratici. I think he's still there. He might not be, but you've got someone upstairs. Yeah. What do you think when you look at this United stuff? Do you look at him as a rival and kind of think, yeah, do you know what? Like, they're starting to do the stuff that we as rival fans didn't want to see them start doing.
Look, I think the sort of the journey of what they say, the journey of 1,000 miles starts with a single step. I think you've got a lot of like work to do at the football club, and I genuinely think that for most Tottenham fans or most fans, I'd probably speak for most fans who aren't United fans, that to see Ineos and Sir Jim Ratcliffe come in rather than the Qataris was most people's preferential outcome, because you know, you've got a lot of things that are going to cost a lot of money to fix your club, right? Like your stadium's in disrepair. You've got a lot of players that are still on massive contracts that aren't really wanted by the club or that are going through various spells of some sort of disharmony. There's a lot of work to do. And bringing in a good CEO and a good director of football is a brilliant sort of foundation, a brilliant starting block. And I think that good things will come from it. But there's a lot of work to do and a lot of tough decisions that have to be made. And I don't know what your future. I don't follow your club as closely as you guys, so I don't know if like Marcus Rashford if there's any intentions to try to sort of let him go at some point, but it's going to be difficult to do so because of the salary he's on. You were talking about Harry Maguire. He's on £10 million a year. Like he's under no obligation to, like, same with Ndombele, right? Sort of 10 million quid a year, 200 grand a week. He's under no obligation to walk away from that contract just because Man United don't want him anymore. Even if Man United are willing to let him go for a pittance, someone's going to have to make up that salary. Is anyone going to pay 200 grand? No. So you might end up seeing situations where you're taking significant losses or significant kind of like compounding ownership of those issues for the next couple of years, which is going to be a bottleneck around your club's ability to go and do the other things that you want to do around bringing players in. So look, I think it's a brilliant first step for you guys. If it happens, if it all works out, I think it's wonderful for, you should be optimistic, especially as the starting point right now is fairly low. But there's still a hell of a lot of question marks around how you're going to overcome some of the challenges with the squad that you have that you don't want. How much money is going to be available for players that you can bring in, and how much money is going to be available for the other things that are going to be able to increase your revenue over the next, like that kind of top line number, because the PSR or the FFP rules are going to change to be more in line with UEFA around. You're going to have to find ways to raise your revenue number so that you can raise your bottom, like the spend on the wages and salaries and transfer fees. All of that stuff is background noise at the moment, but it will come right to the forefront once you start to kind of look under the surface, under the hood, or these guys look under the hood of what you guys want to do and figure out that plan. So it's really positive, but I'm not too worried just yet. What worries me more for Tottenham as a Tottenham fan is the fact that you guys have been like stinky all season and that you're still only 6 points away from a top 4 spot. Like, you're finding a way to get results every single week, pretty much.
You're starting to get a bit nervous now.
Yeah, I didn't think you were in the conversation. We were looking up. Like most of the shows I'm on, we're talking about, can we catch Arsenal? And all of a sudden you go, wait a minute, we've got to look over our shoulder. There's noise.
Because they don't draw, because they don't draw, and draws are killers. Monty will tell you that. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Draws are killers in this league. They've only drawn 2 games, right. Lost 9. But you've drawn 5. You know what I mean? Killers are horrendous. You know what I mean? And
we are back in the top 4 race. Like, whether people like it or not, obviously, I'm not talking about it too much on the stream now. But we are definitely back in the top 4 race.
You are back in the top 4.
United's aura will make Spurs feel that. They'll know that whether United's crap or not, or the players we've got, because our name's Man United. It's like, yo, we need to. You don't want us to get on a run. Do you know what I mean?
Right. And look, Champions. I know we're talking about top 4 race, but that Champions League revenue. I know you guys don't worry, you haven't got a problem with revenues because you're one of the biggest earners in the game, right? But in terms of all those other concerns I've already mentioned, having that additional Champions League revenue that no one was really baking into the forecasting would be brilliant. And with whatever happens in Europe for the rest of this season, you might end up that Champions League drops down to 5th spot. So there's all that extra motivation for you guys to finish the season strong. And that might be a little bit of a catalyst to help get you through the early stages of this sort of regeneration of United. So yeah, look, really positive stuff for you guys, but I think there's a lot of work to do.
Yeah, now here I'm gonna bring in LB because I know LB's got away. Oh, people are getting on me already. We've won our last 5, so I'm just gonna enjoy that. That's the longest run we've had this season. So I'm gonna class that as a run because not many teams actually have won 5 games in a row this year.
It's more like a jog.
Okay, a jog. Yeah. But we beat Luton and then we beat Fulham. Then that's 7. But then we're turning that into a little. You know what I mean? We're climbing hills. G. You know what I'm saying? So
Ty, mention the game after that. Ty, mention the game after that.
No, because we're not gonna win that one. So it's.
But mention it. It's relevant.
Who beat City away? No one does that, really.
Saturday day, you said it. We got City away.
Maybe Spurs on the odd day, but yeah,
on your day. But you know what I mean. But LB, what are you thinking about your rivals across the pond? Like, are they starting to move serious now? I know they're way off your club. Look, let's be real. I'm not going to sit here and scream we're anywhere near Man City. We want to be something like your club. However, we're just building our bridges now. Do you see us building our bridges the right way over the next 12 months?
You just said that, bro. Hey, someone clipped that. Ty just said he wants to see United be like City. Oh, you just said, bro.
Oh, bro, in terms of the way you're run and organized, bro, I'm not going to sit here and say that you're not run beautiful. You know what I'm saying? The tree's blossoming, bro.
That's crazy. Honestly, I think this is the start of the right direction. But Sean said it earlier. I think this is a multi-year project. Yeah, you know what I mean. This is, I don't think United are going to be competing at the top table for another 2 to 3 years minimum. They're gonna have to make some difficult calls on the likes of
That's
Maguire.
not long though. I'm going to rebuttal that. That's 2. If you
No. Look, Ty, I tell you why it's
we're
long.
competing for the league in 2 years, bro. I am happy about that.
No. I'll tell you why it's bad, bro, because it's been 10 years since you last won a title.
I thought you were going to say 4 or 5.
No, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. If it's 10 years or 12 years, that's the same thing. It don't matter. Yeah, it does not matter.
Chap, don't do that. If LB saying we're competing for the league in 2 years, I am biting his hand off for that.
No, but what do you mean don't do that? I'm saying if it's 10 years or 12 years, what's the difference? If we waited 10 years, we can wait 12.
Oh, okay, cool. But if it's 2 years, bro, that's sharp.
Yeah, but I'm saying minimum. Yeah, but I'm saying minimum. I'm saying minimum. I'm not saying you even win it in 2 years.
Take longer than
let LB land. Let LB land. Go on, LB.
No.
Go on, LB.
The point that I'm making is that it's going to be at least 2 to 3 years before you even start to compete. And we're already at 10 years. So you could easily get to 15 years without even winning a prep. That's the point that I'm trying to make, yeah?
Okay,
but these are the rights. These are moves in the right direction. You got to stop Ten Hag from making signings because you don't know what he's doing. For me, top 4 or he gets sacked. Yeah, no chances. See you later. And you got to get rid of some of these ass players because you got a lot of ass players at that team. And if you have to take losses, you have to say because play like Maguire, yeah, simple, someone like that. If you don't want to leave, under 21s, yeah, you got to get serious, man. You can't just let these players dictate what the.
I'm not sure. I'm not sure if that's allowed anymore. Because I think the Tottenham we were talking about, like, what do we do? Not to take this off topic, but just because it's kind of relevant. The Ndombele situation, right? The guy's an absolute disaster, and we were like, if you can't find a place to loan him, we're paying 90% of his salary in Galatasaray, but we were thinking about putting him into the same was with Hugo Lloris when he was refusing to go at the end of the summer. We were thinking about what can we do? Can we make him run laps? The same with Eric Dyer. Can we make him do fitness all day long and like force the issue, make it uncomfortable for him? But I think that kind of like HR policies mean that you're not allowed to kind of treat people unnecessarily if they haven't done things that are, sort of outside of their contractual obligations. Then you can't treat them with disdain, sort of thing.
All right, then. You can train with the first team, but you're never going to play for the football club again. Make it quite clear to him that you are never playing for this football club ever again.
Who's that? Wait, who's that?
Well, any player that you think's not good enough.
Yeah, standard. Yeah.
I mean, so it's
but then you're sucking up your salary, right? That's the problem. Isn't Harry Maguire leaving the squad? Like, you can leave him out of the squad as a solution, but the problem is that you're paying salary for a player that you could be utilizing for.
No, I agree. But if the guy refuses to leave, what are you going to do?
Loan him out and hope that someone will pay 60% of his salary?
He's refusing to leave. That's what I'm saying. He's refusing to leave.
Is he? Okay.
Well, that's apparently what he did last year because apparently West Ham was in for him and he didn't want to go.
Really?
He said, "I'm not going." That's what I'm making. Like, I agree with you. If you can loan him out or sell him and you have to top up his wages, you have to top up his wages. But if he refuses to go and says, "No, I want to stay," and you're like, "Nah, you're not part of the squad," and he's like, "No, I'm going to stay," then say, "Right, no problem, but you're not going to play for this football club again." If the HR policy says you're not allowed to train with the 21s, which I think is ridiculous, is what it is. But you can train with the first team, but you're never going to play for me again. Like, make it quite clear that he'll never play again. That kills his England career. Yeah, well, it probably won't do actually with Southgate, but you have to get ruthless. United have to become a ruthless club again, and they're just not a ruthless club. Since Fergie left, they're just so soft. They're so soft. It's unbelievable. Anyway, I got a dip, boys, but big up for
Lewis, big up for coming on. Guys, make sure you go and subscribe to LB's channel down below in the description. So big up for LB. Have a good day, my brother.
Yeah, big up, boys.
No worries. But I think it's going to be proper interesting now because at the end of the day, as a Man United fan, we've been so super frustrated with just the basics of this football club. It now seems to be that, we are looking to move in the right direction. Dan Ashworth coming in, Omar Barada. And I think Dale Brailsford has clearly said, I want to sort out upstairs first before we then start moving on to the players, like Sean was saying about, what's going to happen with McTominay's, what's going to happen with Maguire's and stuff like that. But at the end of the day, we've seen the biggest players come in, like the Di Marias, Falcao's, other players like that, and it's not quite worked. So I agree with the approach of, right, let's sort out what's going on upstairs, because at the end of the day, if we can sort out what's going upstairs, there's a clear direction. The manager can be in sync, whether it's Ten Hag or not, and then everyone's on the same playing field. You can't have players getting sorted out with new contracts, but then the manager and the people above are not agreeing on that. You need to have everyone up there together, which is why Liverpool have been so successful in the last few years. You've had Man City that have Tixi, Pep, they had Omar Barada, they have a couple other guys that they all work together. And it's a system at the end of the day. And if you have that working, Bayern Munich, look at that. Us man are known. Oliver Kahn, it was Salihamidzic, A couple other guys, they were there at Bayern for years, and you just knew that they were a proper football run club. And I'm hoping that this is what Man United can get to. Months, I don't know where you disappeared to, because obviously I know that we're one of your arch rivals, but yeah, you're here. Like when you look at it, even though obviously you banter Man United and then this is football, of course we do it on YouTube. Are you finally seeing that you're like, right, do you know what? Maybe teams need to be alert that in a couple of years they could be onto something.
Yeah, listen, Man United will always be a sleeping giant, whatever way you put it, with the right structure, the right infrastructure, and the right owners. Man United are always one or two correct decisions from the board downwards from being again like a colossal Premier League great again. It is what it is. I think it's a similar thing with Liverpool. I think it like there was a whole reason the world was fearing the Qatari side or the Qatari ownership of a Liverpool or a Manchester United, because it just can't happen. You know what I'm saying? It can't happen either way. You can't give the two biggest clubs in the Premier League, the biggest being Manchester United and second being Liverpool. You can't give them that sort of power that, because you've seen it at work with Man City, who, no disrespect, the size difference is not comparable. It's not comparable. That easily could have been in red, but it was in blue. Newcastle, I'd say they're with better decisions and maybe FFP once they can get through that. Newcastle could look the same. So if you was to give those credentials to a team who already have the fan base, already have the numbers, already have the sales, already have the money to throw away, you just got to call a spade in it. Like Man United will always be 2, 3, 4 years away from getting back to the top. But at the same time, there's so much to do that there's probably going to be a lot of speed bumps on the way. You still need to get the right manager.
We get Champions League though, that really accelerates things a bit with the finances.
I don't think it does, because you've been in and out of the Champions League and even in your shit phase. I generally think once you're ready to give someone time, listen, it's no coincidence that you haven't had a manager that stayed for longer than 3.5 years and you haven't seen any success in terms of the champs or the Prem. There's no coincidence there. There's no coincidence. You look at unless you're talking about Wanyeri, maybe Conte, you could say.
Yeah, no one really shook the Klopp and Pep.
What managers that have been at a football club for less than two years go and win a Premier League?
Yeah, but bro, it's so hard when you're coming up against a Pep and Klopp. Like,
yeah, 100%. But okay,
we have.
They came in 2016. They came in 2016 though.
Klopp's leaving anyway, so who cares?
Your manager left in 2012.
Mourinho's done it twice.
Yeah, and Mourinho's a special one. He's the special one. That's I said, there's one or two exceptions. Bro, there's one or two exceptions in it. I'm saying there's one or two exceptions.
There's 3 exceptions. So it's not an exception.
Yeah, but
if there's 3 that's done it, it's not an exception. People do it.
Well, for me, it happens. No, it can happen, but these days it's rare. Like Mourinho isn't the man he was anymore. Wanyeri was a freak of nature.
Says who?
And
says who?
Says what?
Says who?
You think Mourinho is going to win in the Premier League?
Do you think Mourinho could come here and win the Premier League? I think he can.
No, he can't.
I think he could.
He's not winning the Premier League. No, he's not. Not in today's. No, not.
I think he could. If Mourinho comes in with the tools that he needs, you know that Mourinho needs money. Yeah, you know Mourinho needs to buy the players that he wants. Yeah, he's gonna get the players that the players he wants will die for him. So at the end of the day, I think if Mourinho is in the right environment with the right with money to spend, I think he can still do it. Because he's coming off the finals. Everyone goes like he's washed. He just come off a finals. Like, just he got sacked by Roma. Who the fuck are Roma?
I didn't say he's washed in the Premier League. Look, we're talking about today's pool of managers. I'm not gonna bring it back to 10 years ago.
I'm talking about now, today.
Yeah. I don't agree Mourinho wins the Premier League in this day and age, personally. That's just me personally. Yeah. But I'm saying that I don't want to take it away. I want to kind of be back to the hierarchy. Man United need to kind of get that infrastructure in place and trust the manager and give him time, and also get that filthy wage bill off the cards, and all of these things need to be done. Yes, will it take 2-3 years, but I also think trusting a manager is also a big part of that. I feel like in this day and age, in the modern football age, I feel like it's a lot less likely to win a Premier League if a manager's gonna come in for 2.5 years and get sacked. You go bring another one in, maybe he gets 3 years, gets sacked. But you know what I'm saying? Someone's gonna need the 5-year stretch, the 5-year plan, to go and bring United back to where they need to be in it. You know.
Okay, so let me just. I'm gonna ask you. It's a bit of a caveat, but Klopp's leaving you lot. Right? And he's been there 8 years. So whatever manager comes in for your club, how long do you think it's going to take for you lot to get back winning a league? Because then whoever's going to come in is not going to have won the Premier League before. You're saying about a manager's going to need a 5-6 year plan. That's what you're saying. So if you're relating that to Man United, I can relate that to Liverpool. So.
Yeah, for United's current situation, I think for Liverpool's current situation, because it depends. Also, it depends how many winners we sell, and it depends. Obviously, there's a lot of variables there. But if we're talking manager experience and how long it can take if we bring someone in, if you're bringing in a top class manager. I'm still saying 3 years.
How much time is left on Ten Hag's contract?
I'd say
another 2 years, maybe.
I'd say 4 years.
What's he getting paid?
I don't know.
Time my answer's 4 years.
4 years. So you're not expecting Liverpool to win a Prem for 4 years, right?
He's got 18 months. He's got a year and a half.
Okay, he's got a year and a half. Yeah.
Obviously, Ty. Listen, now if we go and spend 300 million in the window. Obviously, my expectations are going to change. But
now I wanted to ask you that because I'm a very good listener of what people say.
I know the way our owners move.
Because what I'm thinking with you, Monster, right? You're clever. I know you do the acting thing as well. And you rub your ear and do that. Cass, is this guy doing the 4 years to try and give his team a cushion, or is he doing 4 years because he believes it?
Well, if Mo Salah, Klopp, and Lees and Van Dijk, whatever contracts.
No, that's cool. Yeah. I understand Monster on that. If the big guns go, then yeah, like because other teams are going to improve. But I just didn't know if Monts really believed that he's going to allow his team say 4 years without winning the league.
There's certain variables where the Salahs and the Van Dijks and the Alissons, if they stay, then infinitely that 4 years could maybe turn to 2 or 3 years. See what I'm saying?
Okay. Yeah.
Hard reset time. We're talking hard reset.
iPhone factory reset.
Yeah. All the memories gone. All the memories gone, bro. All your archives. Archives is gone in it. We're talking 4 years, bro. Minimum.
Okay, fair. Guys, I think we're gonna make a little wrap up there. Unless Cass, is there anything you wanna touch on at all before I run the lights or anything? I know you're not feeling too great in that.
No, I'm good.
All right. I'll run up with a super chat. Now that's all right. Big up Kenny Afalabi. Says 0 goal difference, least scoring team on the top half of the table, but want to qualify for the Champions League. Man United is spamming the league. At the end of the day, there's 20 teams in this league, Kenny. If Man United find their way into the Champions League after 38 games, you can remember this. It's not a fluke because the Premier League table does not lie after 38 games. If Tottenham crumble, which have got their best players back now, I don't expect them to, then they can only look at themselves. And it's simple as that. And I'm sure Sean would agree. Aston Villa, I don't expect them to stay up there because I think they'll focus on the Conference League as well. And Kamara's out until the summer. But Sean, the truth is, you've got all your big players back now. There's no excuses for Tottenham not to finish in the top 4, even if we can call it the top 5. But top 4, if we get there, you're going to hold your hands up and say we deserve it, right?
Yeah. At the end of the season. Yeah, 100%. I'm to be entirely honest, like I don't really understand how Tottenham are there. I was having this conversation yesterday. I know you're going to wrap up, so I'll summarize.
Yeah, that's cool. No, go on.
I feel like Tottenham's. We haven't dominated any team. We dominated Newcastle back in December, and before that, you have to go all the way back to like game day 4 against Burnley. We haven't taken a team to town at all. We had that brilliant start. We got all. I'm
glad you admit that.
But even since then. Like we have
Brighton had chances as well, man, big time.
Every team, single team we play. That I don't know if it's a great thing
or a terrible thing. You're real, man.
But genuinely, every single team we play, the game is on for 95 minutes. There's even if Tottenham go down, we've got a chance to come back. If Tottenham go up, the other team's got a chance to come back. It's the way we play. I don't really know how we're 4th, but we are. So I do worry because every single game, I don't go into any game confident anymore. I go into every game, regardless if it's City, Liverpool, or Sheffield United or Burnley, thinking this game could go any number of ways. And it's
100%.
Cool, it's exciting, but it's also unsettling. So yeah, if Tottenham don't finish 4th and you guys do, then you got to hand it to you guys. Yeah, 100%.
There we go. Perfect. Guys, make sure you like the video. Make sure you subscribe if you're new to the channel. Make sure you check out Sean Spurs Talk Show. Make sure you check out Mont's Big Six Bants as well for generic content. Me and Chaps will be on Mandem Talk at 5 o'clock. So if you're not aboard today, 5 o'clock is going to be very fun. It's going to be very eventful. So make sure you're there as well. But guys, make sure you subscribe to the channel. Make sure you like this video, and we'll catch you on the other side. Big up. Thanks, everyone.